any cancer, especially breast cancer, I think anyone watching this probably knows by now, it's very closely tied to your reproductive system. I mean, if people don't know, guess what? It is. So the first thing they have to do is make sure that there is no abnormality on your cervix, your ovaries, or anything. Because again, they're not going to pump you full of these drugs if you're ultimately going to have bigger problems. They don't take these kind of risks. And so then what you do is you do hormone treatments for so if normal IVF is a 6-week process, I did mine in 8 days.
Wow,
So,
really?
I left the hospital the 23rd and my first shot was the 24th, and they're self-administered, which is not fun. But so here I am coming off a major surgery on painkillers, not sleeping, uncomfortable, super tired, and hormonal. That is not fun for anyone. Like, I'm already not that pleasant to be around, but you pump me full of hormones, look out. Look out.
Right.
I will say, luckily for my parents, I slept most of the time. So thank God, because I can only imagine
Mhm.
the hell they would have been through with me on hormones. But you pump yourself full of these hormones. You shoot yourself in the hip or the stomach, or like the little fatty part by your belly button.
Mhm.
I'm sure somebody has it like me, but um, and so you do that on a very strict regimen, and they give you all the information, and then once you have to go in period. I think I went in every 2 days, because what the drugs do and is they hyper stimulate your ovaries. So if you think all your eggs are kept in your ovaries, when they're like about to release, you develop these things called follicles. They look like a little thing, and then it literally spits out an egg into your fallopian tube. So normally during your regular cycle, you'll have one, maybe two, and that's typically how you get twins if they mature at the same rate. But this stimulates up to 10.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You then they look at them, they see the maturity, and so they're doing an internal ultrasound to see from kind of the inside, and there's only one way to get there, so you can imagine. And so once they are enough of them are mature, you give yourself what's called a trigger shot, and it causes them all to like spaz out and release the eggs. You go in the next morning, or that later that afternoon, depending on your schedule. And the doctor goes in with like a microscopic needle and just kind of like sucks them up and puts them in a petri dish and freezes them. Or so I'm told. You're under anesthesia for that.
I was gonna say,
Like
are you
Twilight.
okay?
Yeah. And it's funny because they tell you Twilight and you're like, you're just going to be drowsy. That was very drowsy.
Mm-hmm.
I could not have, I couldn't walk. Like you're in a wheelchair from when they get you off the table, which is very difficult with drains, by the way. It's very difficult to navigate onto this table. It's probably 4 feet off the ground, and
Oh,
I'm 5'6". But yeah, it's such a weird experience. But also really, really simple in the grand scheme compared to everything else we're all going to go through.
mm-hmm.
Um, fairly simple, but definitely difficult, if that makes sense.
Yes.
It's
Mm-hmm.
not hard, but it's difficult.
Well, it's
I
like
don't have
you're
any
giving
other
yourself
words.
shots. You need to follow a schedule. There's a lot of protocols that you have to plan
Exactly.
for. So, absolutely. And
Yeah. And oh,
was
sorry.
there pain after like the procedure?
I mean, it's not comfortable by any means, but there's nothing. There's no cutting. There's no stitches. There's no. I would compare it to like an annual exam. A little
Sure.
bit of cramping after that, but nothing we all haven't felt before. And honestly,
Right.
in the face of a double mastectomy, I was already on painkillers, so
Right.
honestly though, I wouldn't say that I needed to take any medicine for the pain. It was there, but it wasn't like
Right.
anything we haven't felt on like a crampy day.